Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are at. We are here to discuss another NBA edition. Today we're going to be talking about the starting five of all time. If you could collect five players of any team of any era, like the best team you could think of, that's what we're going to do here. So I'm Davey.
And I'm Jordan.
I'm gonna start us off this time. First of all, I'm gonna start with the point guard position, and I think there's a couple players that have a better resume than this guy, but I think on this team he's gonna do a lot of what is needed. And sometimes scoring isn't exactly what you need on these types of teams because the firepower is just so immense. And these other players can go for 50, 60 any night that they want. And so I think creating the shots is really a big deal in this game. And so my first player, we're going to go with Steve Nash. I mean, this guy is a genius on the court. His basketball IQ is very high. And he's
Is he a two-time MVP?
I believe so, yep. So he just didn't have really the supporting cast to take him there, and he was
Stoudemire.
Stoudemire, and
that's all I can name.
Yeah. So, I mean, he was going against Kobe.
And that one guy that shot all weird.
Shawn Marion. Yeah.
Marion.
He was a good defensive player. Had that weird shot, and you were questioning why that ball was going in every time he shot it.
One of the weirdest shots in NBA history, I would imagine.
It just shows you with him that it doesn't. You can sit here and go to scouts and they analyze your shot and they say it's not the form that they're looking for, and this guy said, "Screw you. Let me show you what I got."
Yeah.
So
had a pretty healthy career in the NBA.
Absolutely. He traveled around to a couple different teams, but so my point guard, I got Steve Nash.
Okay.
My shooting guard, I'm going with Michael Jordan. I don't think anybody can argue that.
I can't.
I mean, the shots that Steve Nash is going to create for Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
I mean, you could almost go down the list and get some bench players, and you're gonna still have a really good team with just those two players.
Steve Kerr. That's not Steve Nash.
No.
Like, not even close.
No, not at all. So Nash was a genius on the court.
Yeah.
I mean, some of those passes that he did, and he was clutch too. So Michael Jordan, Steve Nash, my small forward.
Let me guess.
Oh.
LeBron James.
Cha-ching! We got LeBron James. Steve Nash, if he wants to sit in the corner and hit threes, LeBron's going to take it down. He's going to be your assist guy. He's going to take some shots. He's going to rebound for you. You got to include this guy in your top five. I mean, he just passed Karl Malone, which he's had a very long career. So
did Karl.
So did Karl. So he's had an amazing career, multiple teams. I mean, this guy can literally throw his team on his back and take him to the championship. And it's tough to win when you're going against the best other team. But LeBron at my small forward. So, and then my power forward, I can't wait to have. I mean, I'm gonna hate when this guy's career ends, but I think when his career ends, he's going to be in debate for the best shooter of all time. I mean, maybe not the threes because of Curry, but Kevin Durant is my power forward. I mean, this guy is so clutch. I mean, there's 1 second left on the clock, and you just don't want this guy to have the ball. I mean, he is one of the scariest people I've ever seen on the court. And he's tall. He claims he's not 7 foot. I doubt
he's 7
that.
foot.
He's 7 foot. So this guy is definitely deserving to be in there. And then with that scoring power between Jordan, James, Durant, I had to put Shaquille O'Neal in there as my center. Defense, I mean, the second you start guarding the three, you're going to throw it down there. And if he's got one person on him, I mean, that's just a bucket right there. This guy went for so many 40-point games. So you're going to have shooting, length, ball handling, power, clutch scoring ability. I mean, you're going to have everything that you want with this starting five. So that's my starting five. I'm excited to hear what you got.
Well. You're going to have everything you want except for the great team that I have. I get where you're going.
Okay.
You got Nash, can dish the bucket or dish the ball. You got some dominant people. A lot of those hard to argue. Some of those you just can't. I do have a little bit different of a best five of all times, if you would, in my starting group. So, guard, I'm just going to have firepower everywhere. Just everywhere. Point guard is going to be Steph Curry.
Okay. That's tough, yeah.
I think this guy brings some dribbling skills. He's an underrated dribbler.
Absolutely.
I think on a team like this, he would for sure average more than 10 assists a game.
Yeah.
So I think he can get you those assists, but he's someone you're going to have to stay on. I think, I know Nash was a shooter, but you could guard him with one. You can maybe fade back with him. Curry, you better pick him up a half.
Yep.
Or he's coming.
Yep.
So we know Curry's changed the game, and you just got to keep an eye on him. Shooting guard, Michael Jordan. Michael Jeffrey Jordan. If anybody has a starting five and doesn't have this guy, you lose credibility with me.
Yeah, get out of this debate.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yep. It's over. There's nobody you can put in this position but Michael Jordan. I don't need to talk about it. I don't need to run the numbers down. This is a 6-time champion and didn't really have a good point guard. So if he had Curry, come on.
Oh, yeah.
But you can't argue that. Small forward, LeBron James.
Yes.
I'm going to give you LeBron James.
Yes.
He's had a good career. You can't argue that. You named it. He passed Karl. By the time he's done, he's going to pass Kareem.
Yep.
So, there's not much you can argue about here. I think you can run this guy at the point if you needed to. We obviously know he can play anything from point, I think, down to center. And he can also defend anything from point down to center.
Yep.
So, if you need someone that's going to guarantee you 10 assists a game with this type of a lineup, I think LeBron James can do that. He still stretches the floor while he's not the greatest three-point shooter. You just have to watch him. There's nobody on either of these lists I think you can double team.
No.
And if you decide, and you're this brilliant coach that figures out I'm going to double team, you're just going to get in trouble.
Yeah, destroyed.
You're going to get destroyed. So, LeBron James is deserving to be on that list. His accolades are going to be hard to dispute by the time his career's over. So, it won't be too long till he's the all-time points leader, which somewhat pains me, but it is what it is. Power forward. I didn't put Durant here because I looked at him as more of a small, but that's okay. For this sake, I'm okay with the power forward I went with.
Okay.
It's more of today's NBA style. But he's going to stretch you out. That's Dirk Nowitzki.
Interesting.
Everybody I've named so far can take you out 3, and we know Dirk can take you down low, pull that 1-foot fade, and you just can't guard that. You just cannot defend that. I think this, with Dirk on there, he's a smart player. He knows how to get people the ball. He knows how to score when he's needed. Doesn't make mistakes. Just somebody who I think would mesh well with this team and take this team to the next level. I think Dirk would slide right in. Centers. You went with Shaq. I'm going with the Lakers as well. Kareem.
Oh.
Abdul Jabbar. This guy averaged 56% field goal percentage his entire career. Yes, LeBron's coming. Currently, he's the all-time points leader. So, to average in a career 56% from field goal, that means you're unguardable. This guy could not be stopped. He was a monster. Had a long career. He played a whole lot of games. He has 38,000 points. That is ridiculous.
That is.
Like he may, and it's not even like set in stone that LeBron's gonna get him.
Right.
I think a lot of people speculate he will, but if LeBron does, I don't see anyone kicking him out a second.
For a long time.
Not in my lifetime.
Right.
It'll never happen in my lifetime. Yeah. There's no one on pace to do that behind LeBron right now.
Right.
So, like, I've got just natural bucket getters, right? I agree with you, Shaq's dominant. There's no stopping him down there. Like, he's one-on-one down there, it's tough. But if Kareem's one-on-one down there, it's tough too. He'll skyhook you. He'll do what he's got to do. He's a baller. That's my top 5.
I'm intrigued that you put Tim Duncan in there.
Yeah. He was tough to not put in there, but I think you kind of think along the same wavelength as I do, and I think 3 points is better than 2.
Yeah.
And we live in a world like where, you know, in our lives we're a little bit younger, like our world is more around that 3-point shot.
Yep.
The 20-point lead is no longer safe.
Right.
Teams can close that gap in a quarter. And so I want someone that can space the floor, that can stretch it out. And we know Tim Duncan wasn't doing that. Tim Duncan's working within 15 feet. He wants a glass shot. He's kissing it off the glass. While he's great, he's hard to keep off of this. That's why he didn't make my list. There's some starting 5s. If I had a number of them, he's going to make a couple of those. But I just feel like Dirk can stretch you a little bit further. And in today's league, which is the highest scoring league we've ever seen, I think Dirk fits that mold better.
How far out was Magic Johnson from making your list?
He was close.
Okay.
He was close. Was he close on yours? Did you struggle with that?
I did. I was definitely considering him, and
because that's interesting. Because you went with more of a passer too.
Right, and that's kind of what Magic brings too, as a passer, and but I think in my mindset, if I had this team, I feel like Magic and Jordan would clash a little bit.
Okay.
You know, and so
they did
exactly. So I think if I'm trying to get, because a big part of a team is everybody being on the same page.
That's fair.
And I don't know if they'd be able to mesh, and kind of like what we're seeing with LeBron and Westbrook right now.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a dumpster fire.
Yeah. And both amazing players.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at stats and everything, and it should on paper be amazing.
First ballot Hall of Famers, both of them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a lot goes into it, I think, with the mindset of being a team and meshing together. So that's why Magic didn't make my top 5.
Yeah, it's hard to leave anybody like Magic off there. Yeah. But again, I'm going for points and scoring power, and I just feel like Curry. I don't know.
Yeah, Curry was right.
3's better than 2, and that's one of the things the league always gets better, and it makes progress. And like we got some of the smartest people in the world working in the league, and this is the way they're taking it. Like it's almost like I don't care, shoot as many 3s as you can, because if we're on, we're gonna win. It's like that's what the league is turning into. It's to the point where there's discussion of a 4-point shot, a 4-point line, and like I'm for it. I would love that.
Yeah, they were down by 4, and guess what? You're shooting close to the half court.
Yeah, and these people nowadays, they shoot that at a high percentage.
Right.
Why not? Yeah. Might be an argument for another day, but that's the reason Magic Johnson didn't make my list. And when you have LeBron James, they're very similar.
Very similar.
Like, and if you're giving me Magic or LeBron, I'm taking LeBron.
Right. Absolutely. Any other honorable mentions you think you'd throw out there?
No, I think that's it. I think those are the 2 that were tougher. Obviously, Shaq. I had a hard time not putting Shaq on my list. But
let's think about Larry Bird.
Yeah.
You know, very dynamic player and very intelligent on the court. But I mean, just the power these guys have of scoring and the strength they have. I mean, every single one of these guys is such an amazing shooter. And, except for Shaq.
Yeah. But Shaq's just so dominant. It's like. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's episode and edition of the Sports Junkies. If you liked it, please show us by giving us a thumbs up. Go ahead and share it. Make sure you subscribe. Until next time, Sports Junkies out.
Peace.